Hey, what's happening, everybody? Hope all is well. So it's been a few days since I threw the camera up and recorded much. It's been probably about a week worth of just straight up collecting rocks. I've been working on the accessory building base, and I definitely have ran short of rocks a lot. So I've spent probably 4 or 5 days just cleaning up the property, doing some other odd jobs and projects, and while I'm doing that, sort of looking for stones to dig up or stuff that I can get the machine back to at least pull out, or use the dolly to pull some stuff out. So I definitely have gotten a lot of rocks over the last bunch of days, and my body can feel it. But I wanted to just show you guys kind of where I was right now. I don't know exactly where I last left off, if it was just trying to fit in some stones for the front wall. It might have even been, as much as I can remember, just setting these 4 cornerstones. But I'll give you a quick walk around, kind of show you what's going on. So about 10 minutes ago, I had some modified dropped, 20 tons of modified. And really it's so that I can kind of level this and grade this off, fill this gully in. Now that the front wall is pretty much packed in with stone, you're not gonna see any of those. The idea was to just kind of fill in some modified, and then I'm just gonna run some landscape paper, like as almost like a step flashing in front, and then backfill it all with stone. I'll probably take it almost all the way up to the top of the timbers, at least for now. And then probably in one little area, I'll run it right up to the timber so that I can run a wheelbarrow in and start to fill in this inside. I'm not gonna start backfilling the actual base yet until I get more of the wall done, or almost 100% of the wall, only because I really want to run like chicken wire or some kind of wiring on the inside to sort of help hold the modified back, along with maybe some landscape paper, just to help, retain that rock as well. So having the other stone, fit under the base already and the wall build up will be a little bit easier to run that fencing or, whatever I decide to use inside. But once I can finish up the walls, I've got some nice sized flat rocks laying around that I still need to get up. So my last little big guy that I was able to get into here with with Godzilla was this guy, and I need to get him over here and sat right inside this little guy right here, but I flipped it as many times as my body would let me. And you can tell there's just rock after rock. Every time I use one, I just sort of lay it around the outside so that I can use it for a different spot if it didn't work. But here's where we're at. We're making decent headway. I just used some old tarps in the very front as a sort of weed barrier so that I didn't have to waste using the landscape paper, but we're getting there. I know it looks a little strange in some spots, but I assure you it's stable and sturdy, and I'm trying to make the sidewalls look a little bit nicer, at least the ones on the side you're going to see when you pull in the driveway. But like I said, a lot's going to get backfilled over top that tarp. This will all get stoned all the way up to meet the driveway at some point in time, but I'll try and key this a little bit and then grade the red shale in before I start laying the driveway over top. But I'm pretty excited. It'll be nice to be able to walk right into the base and sort of be able to wheelbarrow right into there and take rocks right in without having to step over. But this is where I'm at right now. Got a little bit more left on this side to finish up. Like I said, the front's pretty well done. Once I get it backfilled a little bit in this front, I can start to backfill a little bit on the inside. And then there's some stones I have set already to kind of put in some of these open spots. Really, it's just keeping the stone from falling out. But again, this front's going to be covered, so I'm not really worried about losing any of the modified out of the front like you would be out of the sides. That's why the caging and the landscape paper will go in there once I get all the stones set. But yeah, I'll probably try and backfill a little bit at a time and then plate compact each time as I get it in there. And then once I get up to where the timbers are, I'm going to do some sort of, tensioning support across the base this way to help once the actual building goes out, to help with any like outward push. But I got a lot of work ahead of me with the stone piles. Anything that's left, I think I'm going to spread in the driveway a little bit. And then once I can get a little bit more done on these front sides of the walls right here, I'll start putting a little bit of this in the middle, leave my edges open so that I can put that fencing and landscape paper in. But I'm going to get back to work, and I guess I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. So we're really close to finishing the retaining wall, or like the bank barn wall on the bottom of the accessory barn base, the foundation, which I don't know if I've even shown you guys where we are just yet, but maybe this is part of it. Bottom line is I've run out of like large stones. I've probably mentioned before. We found a couple. We've been trying to clear some spots to look for some stuff, and we're digging things like this out of the ground because they're sort of flat, sort of perfect, and we can kind of handle it. Godzilla cannot come down into this area, so Dina and I have devised a plan of putting it on the dolly, which we just got it out of the hole, which took a little while. Got it onto the dolly. Now we're going to strap the dolly to the bumper, and then we're just going to use the side-by-side to pull the dolly with the boulder strapped to it up to the foundation. And we'll see, well, once we get it up there, I guess we'll see how we get it onto the wall. But we're going to start here first, and then there's two other rocks that we got to get the same way, so we'll see how it works out. But this is some ingenuity right here when you don't have a tractor just to come down here and grab stuff, right? All right, so we'll shut the camera off for a minute. We'll bring you guys back when we're about to pull it.
Jedi, come. Stay here.
Also, let me know if you notice that the ratchet's hitting the muffler or anything, like bouncing around.
Okay, Jedi, stay here. Stay here. Good boy. Yeah, go. You're good. I can't keep up.
I've got some rock getting delivered in about maybe 15 minutes or so, and I kind of feel like I haven't really videotaped much or really spoke to the camera in a few weeks, but I thought I'd quick walk you around the accessory building. That's still sort of what I'm working on right now, you know, intermixed with some other life things, but I thought I'd just take you for a quick walk before the rock gets delivered and kind of tell you what I'm going to get into once that actually gets dropped. So let's take a quick look and I'll show you where I left off. I probably had some video, if I haven't shown it already, of basically what it's been like just trying to find the rocks and get the rocks and build basically this retaining wall. If I haven't said it already, like every rock is basically coming from this property. I ran out of big rocks, so I basically been taking my time kind of going through the property and digging stuff up and putting it on either the dolly or trying to use the side-by-side to get it back. But I'll show you what we kind of have going on right now. So this side is almost done. You'll see I need some small thin rocks for right beneath the actual frame, but for the most part this side looks good. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Like I said, I just need to kind of go back and hit some of these like top areas with some thin pieces of fieldstone, but might look a little disheveled back here, but I assure you it is solid as a rock, literally. I know it looks a little weird right in this area right here. This one rock, man, is so neat, but it kind of dips down, which I like for the rain runoff. You know, but it starts to flatten off where it sits underneath the actual frame. So, but yeah, this is where I'm at right now. Just a little bit left to do to fill in some of these small gaps here around the sides. But the reason why I have the rock coming is from what you can see in here. So when I had that first rock dropped, I basically used it to, you know, kind of build everything up to the top of the frame, feather down into the driveway, spread out this way, but I used it to fill in all in front of the rock wall that I built in front of this, on the front end here. So basically I used the modified to drop in here, tuck into the rock real nice, kind of really stuffed it in there with my hands, probably putting a little more effort into this than most people would, which is where I'm at today. The idea is once this rock gets dropped, you can see like I need to build this all the way up to the bottom of the base. I want to plate compact it, but I really want to take my time wheelbarrowing some rock over it, getting it tucked down in some of these areas, then adding some boulders on the inside to not only take up some space, but also help with a little bit of settling. So I'm basically waiting for the rock. I'm going to come back. I'm going to fill all the way up to where I have, you know, basically the boulder set. That way having the modified in there will kind of help me set some of these last stones, especially in the back here. And then once I get this all kind of build out here, I'll start filling in the middle, and the idea is to get it up to basically the bottom of the frame. Then I can come back, plate compact all of this. I'll probably have to get one more delivery of rock, which would then be, you know, the 8.5 inches or so, about the 8 inches or so of the actual frame of the actual square footage. So, you know, that's the objective right now. Once the rock gets dropped, hopefully I've showed you guys some garden videos already, because I feel like I haven't been doing those in quite a while since I left off with the gate. But so this is where we are. Like I said, this is where we are with the accessory building. Once I get this all backfilled, plate compacted, I can then start getting the lumber all together to start putting the building on there. But we are literally like, you know, a week or two away from having this totally finished, plate compacted, and maybe sit for a couple of rains before we start putting some lumber on top. So in the meantime, while I'm having rock delivered, we've never really had a driveway up here. It's always been dirt. So I'm kind of just adding some thin layer while I put some, you know, either landscape paper or tarps. Most of it's tarps just left over from the beginning of the build. I've just been placing them under. This is just a nice thin layer of rock. The idea is let this settle, and then when we come back to do the driveway, you know, this will all get like a, you know, 3-inch layer of modified on top of it. But you can see with these tarps, some leftover plastic, some cheap, you know, blue 4mm tarps. I basically have this down. I'm going to have them drop the pile of rock today right here. I'm going to bleed it into this part of the driveway just a little bit, nice thin, like 1-2 inch layer, and feather it up into the shale over here, which we've, like I said, we've never had rock here, so it'll kind of be nice to have this all evened out. And then I'm just going to spread a little bit down and kind of feather this in. Then the rest of the rock will get put into the base to start filling in that back portion. But sorry, lots of talking. But that's, like I said, where I'm at right now. I still have some rock down here. I also have some rock next to the fence, as well as what's in the base on the pallet, and then a few other odds and ends that are sitting around, you know, in the grasses down here. I'm hoping that I have enough flat rock to pretty much finish off the top of the wall, but here's hoping. If not, I'm sure there's no shortage of finding rock around the rest of the property. But okay, so the rock got dropped yesterday. I was able to spread maybe like a third of it. And that's sort of what you see on this driveway, just to cover all the tarps that I had down, make it a little bit easier to wheelbarrow over everything. But I'm gonna spend the morning now sort of just taking a bulk of this pile and sort of filling in the back corner a little more. So you can kind of see the light spot. That was rock that I did inside the base yesterday as well, especially to build up this back corner and back in here. But you can see I'm missing a little bit of stone still, so I was going to work on the rock this morning, but I think I'm just going to spread a little bit more of this, get a little bit more inside the base, and then that way I can kind of be set up really nicely to start setting some of those bigger stones in there. Sometimes having the modified just to back it up a little bit is a little bit nicer, but I'm gonna get started. I'll set the camera up, and I don't have a lot of storage left, so I'll see how much I can capture and we'll go from there. Reminds me of a time when we were getting a mattress. I don't know, it was my brother and I or something, but we were tying a mattress to the top of a van, I think. I don't even know whose van it was or something. And the way we strapped it looked awesome. And for some reason, the front looked strapped down, but the nose of the mattress was hanging out over the roof. Everything looked nice and tight. And then as soon as you drove, all that flexibility in the front just let the mattress go, whoop. So it looked good.